After 10 years together, I discovered her shocking secret. What happened next will inspire you. Tom had always believed in the sheer power of hard work. Waking up at dawn, battling the chill in Maplewood to make a living as a mechanic, he wore his devotion to family like a badge. His backyard barbecues were legendary among neighbors, who could count on him not just to flip burgers, but to mend fences, lend a hand, and cheer like a madman at his kids' soccer games. This was his world, and he loved it, a world built on support and laughter. But on that fateful Saturday morning, everything he thought he knew took a sudden and shocking turn. As Tom cleared out the garage, he stumbled upon an old sketchbook under a pile of dust-covered junk. Flicking through its pages, he was jolted awake by vibrant colors and intricate lines his wife, Lisa's, hidden talent revealed. Each stroke captured dreams unfulfilled, as if every artwork whispered tales of her untold struggles with their finances and ambitions that had faded over the years. He was glued to the pages, captivated yet conflicted. Tom's heart felt heavy, questioning why Lisa had kept this from him for so long. At that moment, the roses in their backyard seemed to wilt, and the laughter of their children playing echoed hollow in his ears. "I thought we were a team," he whispered under his breath, a wave of anger surging within him. He loved Lisa. How could she not trust him with her pain? This wasn't just her secret, it rippled through the fabric of their family, distorting the image of their perfect life. Fueled by both sorrow and a flicker of hope, Tom hatched a plan. He would organize a community art showcase, believing it could reignite Lisa's spirit and let the world see her for who she truly was. He worked tirelessly, rallying support from neighbors who knew the family struggle. But as the days rolled on, fewer and fewer folks committed to attending, their own battles with time and money holding them back. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The showcase day arrived, the town hall adorned in colorful displays and whimsical paintings. But as the minutes passed, Tom's stomach twisted. Where were the people? He scanned the room, his heart plummeting. The lack of faces felt like a betrayal. His love poured into this event now lay shattered at his feet like broken glass. He wanted to scream, to shake Lisa awake, to confront her about the hidden hurt. Silent tension filled their once cheerful home after the dismal event. Then, one evening, under the dim kitchen light, Tom reached his breaking point. "Why didn't you trust me, Lisa?" he erupted, his voice cracking. "You kept this from me while I fought for us. Don't you understand how that affects our kids?" The air thickened, their histories collided like freight trains. As tears pooled in Lisa's eyes, raw vulnerability seeped through every pent-up word, unveiling a hidden battle that raged inside her. Fear of not being enough, insecurities that spanned like a chasm between them. Could this storm be weathered? In that moment, they stood at a crossroads, seemingly worlds apart but so close to understanding each other. Could love embrace both their dreams, or would the shadows of doubt continue to loom? Tom's heart raced as he dared to hope, wondering what love truly required in the face of profound uncertainty. Tom felt a swell of anger and sorrow as he looked at Lisa, his heart caught in a whirlwind of emotions. The words hung between them like a fragile thread. The silence that followed was suffocating, each second stretching out as if mocking the love they had built. Lisa wiped her eyes, taking a breath that trembled. "I never wanted to add more weight to your shoulders. You work so hard, Tom. I thought you'd be disappointed if you knew the truth. That my art was just a dream, a silly fantasy." "It's not silly. It's a part of you," he replied, his voice rising and cracking. "You have this talent, but you let it sit in the shadows. Do you really think we're fine without knowing the whole story?" The frustration spilled over. No longer was it just about art, it was about trust, about partnership. Lisa's shoulders rounded as if the weight of her secrets pressed down on her, drawing her inward. Tom couldn't shake the image of those vibrant colors, the vision of a world she had kept hidden. How could he have been so blind? A wall had formed between them, dividing their lives like a line drawn on a map. I thought if I could just keep it under wraps, we wouldn't have to face the disappointment of another failure, she whispered, her vulnerability hanging in the air like fragile glass. But I kept that part of me alive through my sketches. You don't know how many times I picked up a brush, but thought, this isn't for you, Lisa. You don't deserve it. Tom's chest tightened. His hands clenched into fists. The revelation flooded him. Lisa hadn't just hidden her art, she had hidden a piece of her soul. But, Lisa, you deserve everything. We deserve to fight together for what we love, even those dreams that seem out of reach. Do we? She countered, her voice barely above a whisper. It's so easy to talk about wanting to chase dreams. But what if we fail, Tom? What will that mean for the kids? For us? Failing is part of reaching. I'm not angry at you for being afraid, I'm angry because you didn't let me share that fear with you, he responded, a fierce passion igniting in his heart. There was a shift in the atmosphere, vulnerability wrapped them both, creating an odd shelter from their chaos. Tom took a step closer, challenging the distance between them. Let us make the art show happen again. If we face it together, maybe this time it will bring more than just pain. It can be a fresh start, a chance for healing. Your art can inspire others, Lisa. It can become our story. Lisa looked up, her eyes shimmering with uncertainty and a glint of hope. What if no one comes? What if it's worse than before? Then we'll gather the few who do and make it a moment to cherish. Together. His sincerity washed over her, breaking through the barriers of doubt. In that moment of fragile connection, a flicker of what once was and what could be ignited in both their hearts. They were on the brink of a choice, a decision that could redefine everything. Okay, she murmured at last. But can we do it as a family? I want this to be ours, not just mine. Tom nodded, a grin breaking through his stormy expression. Absolutely. Let us show the kids that dreams are worth pursuing, no matter the outcome. As they locked eyes, the warmth of their connection sparked the kind of resolve that could weather any storm. But little did they know, bigger challenges were on the horizon, challenges that would test not just their dreams, but the very fabric of their family. Could they truly stand together when the tide grew rough? Outside, the world seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. The next morning, Tom awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. The sun's rays pierced through the curtains, illuminating the small kitchen where he made his first cup of coffee. Each sip tasted like a promise of change, a gentle reminder of the conversation he had shared with Lisa the night before. His heart raced as he imagined the art show, a beautiful amalgamation of their family dreams and Lisa's hidden passion. Meanwhile, Lisa lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, her thoughts dripping like the stale paint on an old canvas. The thought of her art was both exhilarating and terrifying. Would it really resonate with others? Doubts crept in, snaking around her resolve. She had spent years feeling ashamed of her talents, convinced that pursuing her dreams would shatter the safety of their family. But now, after hearing Tom's unwavering support, a spark lit within her. Okay, we can do this together. She whispered, almost to herself, determined to turn her fear into fuel. Later that day, they gathered around the dining table with their kids, Sophie and Jake. The atmosphere was buzzing with a nervous excitement. Tom cleared his throat, feeling the weight of his family's eyes on him. I have something special to share, he began, glancing at Lisa. The kids looked up, their curiosity piqued. Mom has been working on something amazing, something that represents our family, our story, he continued, gesturing toward Lisa with a warmth that filled the room. And we want to have an art show, a family art show. An eruption of laughter brought him joy. An art show? That's awesome. Jake exclaimed, enthusiastic as he pictured Mom's tower of colored pencils and the chaos of art supplies sprawled across the living room. Sophie took a moment, her brows knitting together. But, will people actually come, Dad? What if nobody likes her paintings? Who cares? Tom answered, pride swelling in his chest. It's about supporting each other, and enjoying the process. It's our time to shine. Lisa smiled through her uncertainty, feeling confidence seep through every word Tom spoke. We're going to make it a celebration of family and dreams, all kinds of dreams. As they discussed plans, Lisa felt the walls that had confined her begin to crack. She started to pull out her sketches, the unshared pieces of her existence that had been locked away for too long. I'll include some of my past work, too, to show the journey. Each sketch felt like a step toward liberation, a testament to her struggles and successes alike. The days rolled on, and they transformed their home into a buzzing hive of creativity. Paintings, collages, and sculptures sprouted on the walls and floors. The children joined in, making their own art pieces, a colorful handprint mural from Sophie and a treasure map filled with imaginary lands drawn by Jake. But with every brush stroke, Lisa faced flickers of doubt. What if no one came? What if the art was not good enough? She found herself staring at her canvas, hesitant to put the first stroke down. Each time she thought of backing out, Tom's passionate words echoed in her mind, yet, as the day of the show approached, a storm brewed inside her. The surge of hope was tangled with anxiety, making her heart race faster than ever. Lisa, you can do this, Tom said one night as they prepped the final touches. His hands found hers, grounding her with warmth. It's just as much for you as it is for us. No matter what happens at the show, we are doing this together. She nodded, inhaling deeply, but the fear lingered. Could her dreams withstand the pressure of reality? The night came with a glowing halo of excitement. Friends and family started to gather as laughter filled the air, yet Lisa's heart drummed to the beat of her anxiety. Would their support be enough when the moment of vulnerability finally arrived? But as she stepped into the living room filled with art, the spark was undeniable. And just as she prepared to unveil her heart, her phone buzzed with a sudden message that would change everything. Lisa, it's time to share your truth. What lay ahead would test her in ways she never anticipated, and whether they could truly stand together remained to be seen. Lisa's fingers trembled as she stared at the glowing screen of her phone. The message, simple yet profound, sank into the pit of her stomach. It felt like an unexpected wave crashing against the damp shore of her hope. What truth, she murmured to herself, the words slipping out before she could catch them. Around her, the room was alive with anticipation. Friends poured in, laughter bubbling like freshly poured soda, and the art pieces adorned every available surface. Her heart pulsed wildly, drowning out the sound of chatter. Each painting whispered her fears, her untold stories, but she was still standing in the shadows, hesitant to step into the light. Tom was busy mingling, making sure everyone felt welcome, his pride radiating like the golden glow of the fairy lights hanging above them. Mom, look! Sophie tugged at her shirt, showing off her colorful handprint mural that hung on the wall, glistening under the warm lights. Jake waved a makeshift sword made from cardboard, grinning goofily like a proud artist. Their joy ignited something within her, yet the anxiety gnawed at her soul. As Lisa scanned the crowd, she spotted familiar faces amidst a sea of strangers, each representing a piece of her past. There was Emily from high school, a significant chapter she thought was long closed. Charlie, an old neighbor, waved from the corner, and her heart fluttered at the sight. Old memories clashed with her nerves, and suddenly, she felt so small. Lise, you okay? Tom's voice cut through her swirling thoughts as he approached, a curious glance in his eyes. I can't shake this feeling, Tom. What if they don't like it? What if they really see me? She admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Who cares? He grinned, that infectious smile she loved most about him. Remember, it's not about them. It's about you. Your truth. Just like the message. Maybe it's time to share it all. A surge of warmth filled her chest. You really think they'll get it? Get me? Of course, they will. That's what family is for, to connect with each other, to spark empathy and inspiration. Just take a breath and step forward. He squeezed her hand, his touch sending waves of calm through her, but that familiar wave of doubt crashed against her. What if this night turned out to be a fragile mirage, another disappointment in the desert of her aspirations? She could feel her heart pitter-pattering in protest. With a deep breath, Lisa glanced at her husband, his unwavering support bolstering her courage. She had been given this moment, a chance to unbundle years of suppressed creativity, and it was slipping away like sand through her fingers. "All right," she declared, voice quavering, but determination flickering beneath it. "I'm ready." "Go shine, love," Tom encouraged, nudging her gently toward the living room where everyone gathered. As she moved to the front, a hush fell over the crowd, faces turning expectantly toward her. Lisa's heart raced, each beat echoed the countless times she had nearly given up. This was her moment, a stage dressed not in lights but in vibrant canvases drenched in her truth, both beautiful and messy. "Thank you all for being here," she began, her voice stronger as the warmth of their smiles enveloped her. "This show is more than just paintings. It tells the story of who I am, who we are as a family." With every word, she could feel the walls around her heart crumble. She revealed her experiences, her struggles with self-doubt, the fears of embracing her true self, and the emotions tangled within every brushstroke. The crowd shifted forward, nodding, connecting, each sharing their journey without uttering a single word. Then, she suddenly felt that buzz again, the phone in her pocket vibrating insistently. This time, curiosity mingled with a hint of dread. Was it the courage to take her unmasked truth further, or was it the weight of overwhelming expectations? Maybe, just maybe, Lisa thought, the hint of a smile creeping across her lips, this is only the beginning. As she finished speaking, the crowd erupted in applause, a warm wave that wrapped around her, lifting her up. But the truth behind that message still danced in her mind. What did it mean for her now? What would happen next? She glanced at Tom, his eyes sparkling with pride, but questions loomed ahead like shadows just waiting to emerge. The night was still young, and the revelations were far from over. Lisa took a moment to soak in the applause that felt like a cocoon around her, wrapping her in a warmth she had long yearned for. Yet the insistent buzz in her pocket tugged at her attention, pulling her momentarily away from the praise. With shaking hands, she fished her phone out, glancing at the notification that it was from an unknown number, the words glowing ominously on the screen, "I know your truth, call me." Her breath caught in her throat. What truth? Panic flooded her, and she glanced around the room, suddenly questioning every smile, every nod. What had she shared that someone who clearly didn't know her thought they could unveil? Lise. Tom's voice broke through her haze, still tinged with pride, but now laced with concern. "Are you all right?" He reached out, cupping her face, his thumb gently stroking her cheek. I got a text." She hesitated, searching his eyes for reassurance. "It's from someone who claims to know something about me." "Let's not focus on that now," he said, brushing it off. "You've just delivered your truth. Let this night be about celebrating you." He tried to guide her back to the present, but doubts lingered, rising like steam from a pot about to boil over. The crowd around them buzzed with excitement, catching up with old friends, praising her art, and soaking in the vibrant atmosphere. But all she could think about was that message. She felt her heart race, the thrill she had just felt tinged with dread. "Come on," Tom urged gently, tugging her closer to the canvas, his touch warm and grounding. "Look at what you've done. Look at them." Her gaze followed his, landing on familiar faces filled with joy and admiration. There was Emily, whose eyes glimmered with unshed tears, and Charlie, who offered a heartfelt thumbs up. Even Sophie and Jake pranced around, their enthusiasm vibrant as they drew others towards the whimsical creations on the walls. This was her moment, filled with color and light. Maybe that message didn't matter. Maybe this night was enough to drown out lingering fears, to rekindle hope, but that vibrancy was interrupted as someone cleared their throat beside her. Lisa turned, finding Emily stepping forward, excitement radiating from her. Lisa, your paintings, they're breathtaking. They capture so much emotion. I didn't know you had this in you. Emily's words poured out, genuine and warm. Thank you, Lisa replied, feeling a smile creeping back on her face. Yet, as she returned Emily's gaze, the message lingered, shadowing her joy. Suddenly, Sophie appeared, her small hand gripping Lisa's leg. Mom! Can we paint together next time? You make colors come to life. Lisa chuckled, that innocent confidence momentarily lighting her heart. Of course, we can. We'll create a masterpiece together. But then, a familiar face emerged from the crowd. Marcus, an old friend from her past. He had shadows beneath his eyes, a splash of regret on his face as he approached her. I'm sorry for showing up uninvited, he said, his voice low but steady, but I heard about your show and I needed to see it. Marcus, she started, feeling the weight of history. Their friendship had ended so abruptly, leaving pages unwritten. Can I talk to you? He asked, the intensity in his eyes cutting through the surface-level chatter around them. Lisa's heart dropped. There was something in his tone, urgency intertwined with caution, that made it hard to breathe. Was this the truth she had been avoiding confronting? Yeah, sure, she managed, trying to keep the worry from seeping into her voice. She glanced back at Tom, who nodded encouragingly, though a flicker of confusion crossed his face. As she stepped away from the jubilation, all her doubts resurfaced. The wall of applause faded behind her, replaced by the anticipation of a truth she had not yet faced. She felt the strength of all she had shared begin to ripple, and as she followed Marcus to a quieter corner of the room, the weight of an impending revelation settled on her shoulders. What had he come to say? What secrets hung between them, waiting to be unearthed? The night was not finished revealing its truths, and she was ready to confront the whirlwind that awaited. Marcus led her to a secluded spot by the snack table, distant enough from the laughter and cheers but close enough to feel the electric energy of the night. Lisa's heart raced, but not just from the tension. Memories bubbled to the surface, remnants of their friendship and the fallout that had once torn them apart. Lise, he began, pausing as he searched for the right words. His brow furrowed, and she could see a storm of emotions brewing beneath his composed facade. What is it? She pressed, trying to sound calm, but her voice wavered. You said you needed to talk. Is this about the text? His eyes darted away for a brief moment, as if he were gathering all the strength he could muster. It's more complicated than that. You deserve to hear my side to understand why things played out the way they did. Things. She felt the familiar sting of frustration creeping in. 10 years had passed since they last spoke with any semblance of comfort, and now was not the time for roundabout explanations. What are you talking about? Do you remember when we fell out? He asked, his voice dropping to almost a whisper, as if fearing the answer would echo through the gallery. How it felt like everything was collapsing. And I'll never forget how you walked away without explanation, she shot back, the hurt spilling over, raw and unrefined. So why now? What changed? Because I need to own my mistakes, Lisa. I thought I was protecting you then. I thought it might be best if I just disappeared. He took a deep breath, his shoulders shifting as if the weight of regret were extraordinary. But I realize now that wasn't my decision to make. The knot in her stomach tightened. Was he here to apologize? To lay out everything she'd been mourning alone? She held her breath, waiting, heart pounding against the silence. I know about the text, he said suddenly, his voice steady now. And whoever sent that, they're dangerous. They don't know you like I do, and they're playing a game that I never meant to let you be part of. Her thoughts scrambled. The darkness of his words wrapped around her. What do you mean? Marcus leaned closer, urgency creeping into his expression. I can't explain everything right now, but there's a connection between your art and things from our past that we both believed were buried. Someone is trying to unearth them. Lisa's mind spun like a pinwheel caught in a gust, memories colliding with fear. What does this have to do with my art? I think your paintings are more than just your expression. They might carry the very truth that person wants to exploit. If they discover what you've hidden away, it could destroy everything you've built. Her breath hitched, frantically seeking balance amid the upheaval. The joy of the evening slipped further away, the applause faded into a distant echo. He was claiming that everything, the love, the celebration, might just be a facade. We need to figure this out together, Marcus continued, his voice firm, anchoring her against the swirling storm of emotions. Whatever truth you think you've buried, it's time to face it. And I'm here to help. Questions danced in Lisa's thoughts, but before she could voice any of them, she felt the prickle of eyes upon her. The crowd, now a swirling mix of familiar faces and distant strangers, felt oppressive. "Let us not be here," she murmured, urgency in her words. "Not when secrets loom in the shadows." As they moved to find a quieter spot, the sense of dread weighed heavy in the pit of her stomach. She couldn't shake the feeling that more revelations awaited her. Secrets tugged at the corners of her mind, and with Marcus by her side, she felt both terrified and oddly empowered. What truths were waiting to be revealed in her tapestry of color? Would confronting them strengthen her or tear apart the fragile life she had woven? As they slipped into the hallway away from the crowd, Lisa braced herself for the storm about to break. Could she face what the unknown sought to claim? The hallway was dimly lit, the sound of laughter fading into a muffled echo behind them. Lisa's heart thundered in her chest as they moved away from the vibrant chaos of the gallery. She pulled her coat closer around her, feeling the chill of realization seep through her skin. The air was thick with unspoken words and hidden threats. "Here," Marcus said, leading her to a small alcove that felt like a sanctuary away from the storm. "No one will hear us." As they stepped into the shadowy corner, Lisa fought the urge to bolt down the hallway. She felt exposed, like a canvas laid bare to the world, yet there was a flicker of courage igniting within her. "So, what now?" she asked, keeping her voice steady even as uncertainty clawed at her throat. "We talk about what's coming," he answered, his eyes locked onto hers with a determined intensity. "The truth behind your art, behind everything. It's not just about a message in a text, it's about what's hidden in your heart and on those canvases." "Hidden?" she echoed, trying to process the weight of his words. She had always used her paintbrush to cover up what hurt, to create beauty from chaos, but had she buried more than she knew? "What, exactly, do you mean?" "Years ago, when things fell apart, you painted as a way to cope. But now, someone has noticed. They see the patterns, the connections. They want to use that against you." His expression softened, dark shadows of regret lining his face. "And I need you to understand that I didn't know how serious it would become." "Serious?" Lisa felt anger boiling beneath the surface as she crossed her arms. "You mean you walked away and left me to deal with my struggles alone, and now you're saying I have to risk everything again?" "Maybe," Marcus said, his voice quiet but firm. "But you're not alone now. That's the difference. You don't have to bear this weight by yourself anymore." A silence thickened between them, heavy with unresolved wounds and painful memories. Lisa's thoughts spiraled around their shared past, the friendship that had been so vibrant, now frayed into ghosts of what used to be. And yet, here they were. He wasn't walking away this time. "Your art saved you, didn't it?" he continued, the compassion in his voice breaking through her defenses. "It's part of who you are. But if someone is trying to exploit it, using it against you, you have to defend it. You can't be afraid to confront what you've painted over." His words struck a chord deep inside, stirring emotions she thought were long buried. "What if the truth destroys me?" she whispered, vulnerability creeping into her voice. "What if it tears apart everything I've built?" "It might," he replied honestly, but there was an edge of hope in his gaze. "But facing it could also set you free. It could let you finally tell your own story, not someone else's." In that moment, Lisa felt her pulse quicken, a spark igniting in her chest. It wasn't just about the past anymore, it was about reclaiming her future. She had spent so long hiding behind her art, masking her pain with color and creativity. Marcus was right. It was time to step into the light, to embrace the chaos and the truth of who she was. As her resolve hardened, she looked into Marcus's eyes, seeing a reflection of her own fears, but also a promise. Then let us figure this out together. I need to know what's at stake. Before he could respond, her phone buzzed in her pocket, a harsh reminder of the outside world intruding upon their fragile moment. She pulled it out and froze. The text alerts blew across her screen, revealing an ominous message that chilled her to the bone. Lisa, Marcus began, sensing the shift in her demeanor. Wait, she murmured, her breath hitching as she read the words. It's happening now. As they stood in the shadows, the threads of the past and the uncertainty of the future tangled tighter. Lisa felt the weight of her decision sink in. She was on the precipice of a revelation, but just how deep did the rabbit hole go? What awaited her in the darkness beyond? Was it freedom or destruction? The screen glowed ominously, each word etched into her mind like a warning. We know your truth. Don't make it harder on yourself. Lisa's heart lurched. She grabbed Marcus's arm, her pulse racing. What does this mean? Who sent it? His tone shifted from concern to urgency. We need to understand what is happening. Honestly, I have no idea, she admitted, her voice trembling. But it feels like they're watching me. A chill swept over her, as if unseen eyes were tracking her every move, every brushstroke. Listen to me, Marcus said, his grip firming around her shoulders. You can't panic. We need to stay focused. His presence steadied her. If someone is threatening you, we'll figure out how to fight back. You're stronger than you think. She stepped back, shaking her head. It's not that simple. They can uncover everything I've hidden. All the pain. Every secret I thought was buried. Marcus's expression softened, revealing the weight he carried from their past. That pain is a part of you, Lisa. But remember, you transformed it into art. You can't let others dictate how you feel about it. You have to own it. Memories flooded her mind's eye, nights spent lost in swirling colors and abstract forms, translating fragile emotions into something beautiful. She drew strength from that memory, the passion she poured into each painting. But now, the idea of someone exploiting that very essence felt like a betrayal. Why now? She whispered, half to herself. After all these years? Why come after me? A flicker of understanding crossed Marcus's face, and he leaned closer. Because you're gaining attention. Your last exhibition drew in a bigger crowd than ever before. People want to know the artist behind the brush. Whoever sent this knows something they shouldn't, and they intend to use it. Lisa's stomach twisted. She had poured her heart into those canvases, refugees from her torment. Now they felt like targets. What if they twist my story? What if they paint me as someone I'm not? Then we'll fight that narrative. Together, Marcus said, resolve bubbling within him. We start by going through everything. Your work, your statements, anything that could give them traction. We'll leave no stone unturned. Taking a breath, Lisa nodded, but her mind raced. What do we do if they come after me? I can't face. We will cross that bridge when we get there, Marcus interrupted gently. But I need you to trust me, Lisa. Your story isn't finished yet. What do you mean by that? She asked, curiosity piqued. There's strength in telling the truth, even in vulnerability. Your art has the power to inspire change, not just for you but others too. A single tear slid down her cheek, colliding with the weight of his words. You really believe that, don't you? I do, Marcus assured, his voice a lifeline in the storm. But it starts with you opening up. No more hiding, no more silence. The intensity of his gaze ignited a flame of determination in her. Her shoulders straightened. Okay, let us do this, but we need a plan. I want to let them take my voice. Then we'll figure out how to use your art as armor. They stepped out of the alcove, re-entering the fading hum of the gallery. Lisa felt a shift, a new energy surrounding her, thick with possibility and purpose. Yet, a gnawing fear lingered in the back of her mind. Marcus, if I step into the light, I risk not just my past but everything I've built. What if it all crumbles? Or it could soar, Lisa. His reassurance gave her a moment's pause. But it won't happen without you taking the first step. As they moved through the crowd, Lisa felt the weight of her decision pressing down on her. What lay ahead might be both liberating and terrifying. She gazed at the faces passing by, glimmers of connection and curiosity sparking deep inside her. But within that tide, one question haunted her: would the truth she revealed be her salvation, or would it lead to her downfall? And as the pounding beat of the gallery's music faded, it dawned on her one action could change everything. Would she find the courage to face the storm? Or would she lose herself in the process? The music drifted through the gallery, a background hum to the clinking of glasses and murmurs of conversation. Lisa clenched her hands at her sides, trying to steady herself as the weight of the crowd pressed in. Each laughing face felt like a reminder of the truths she had kept hidden for so long. Marcus, sensing her tension, leaned closer. Focus on what you need to do. We'll handle the rest. Right, she replied, but her voice shook. She spotted her paintings displayed proudly, each piece a fragment of her soul laid bare. Would those pieces now be a map for someone to draw out her darkest fears? Let us start with the artist's statement, Marcus suggested, directing her towards a quiet corner, away from prying eyes and ears. If we know what they might target, we can prepare. Lisa nodded, her heart pounding. It has to talk about the inspiration behind my work. It touches on my past but doesn't go into detail about what happened exactly. Let us make it clear that your art is about transformation and healing, not just pain, he urged. You're more than your struggles, you're an artist. Together, they reviewed the statement, slicing through the words like a surgeon. With each edit, Lisa felt a mix of fear and empowerment. Things she previously shied away from discussing now sprang to life under Marcus's guidance. You're not just telling your story, he said. You're reclaiming it. But every word feels like a risk, she countered, biting her lip. What if they twist it, Marcus? What if I lose control of how people see me? Control can mean hiding away, which is exactly what they want, he replied, his voice steady. Taking control means steering the narrative. Pausing, she absorbed his words like a lifeline. The crowd's laughter echoed in the backdrop, reminding her of the impending choice. She could stay in the shadows, or she could step into the light. I don't know if I can do this, she whispered, her breath hitching. Hey, he said, tilting her chin up so she met his gaze. You don't have to face this alone. I'm here. His reassurance tugged at the edges of her heart. In his eyes, she saw reflection and resolve, the passion they once shared ignited once again. Did she have the strength to face the storm, even if it could wreck everything she built? Just then, a woman's voice broke through her thoughts. Lisa, your piece on healing is stunning. Can you tell us more about it? Her stomach dropped, and she glanced back at Marcus. He gave her a gentle nod, urging her to take the leap. She turned back, facing the woman and a small gathering, all eyes eager, all curiosity piqued. Taking a breath, Lisa stepped forward. My art is a journey through the pain to find hope. The moment she began speaking, something shifted. The fear that had bound her began to dissolve as she told her story. With every word, she could feel the warmth of connection washing over her. It was terrifying yet liberating, a push against the constraints that had bound her for years. As she spoke, she caught sight of a man at the back of the crowd, his expression unreadable but intent. He was familiar, a figure from her past she never expected to see again. Her heart raced again, fear intertwining with a surge of adrenaline. What had he come for? Was he tied to the dark message on her screen? The connection of her revelation and the shadow of her past collided, leaving an electric charge in the air. Wait, Lisa stammered, her voice faltering as she locked eyes with him. "What do you want?" The room seemed to hold its breath. In that moment, all the changes she had just bravely embraced felt at risk of collapsing around her. But what she didn't expect was that this meeting would plunge her deeper into a truth she had buried, but she had to know. Who did he tell? As Lisa stood there, her heart pounding in her chest, time slowed. The man's gaze sent icy tendrils of fear through her. His presence felt like a blast from a past she had worked so hard to escape. "I came to talk," he replied, his voice steady. "About the truth you're so willing to share." Marcus stepped closer to Lisa, an unspoken shield against the uncertainty creeping in. "You know her. What do you want?" he demanded, the protectiveness wrapping around them like a cocoon. "I want to make sure she understands the weight of her words. The truth can be a double-edged sword." The man's smirk, however faint, sent a shiver down her spine. "Then let us talk." Lisa took a step forward, standing taller than she had all night. "If you think the truth can intimidate me, you're wrong. I'm not the scared girl I used to be." His expression flickered, momentarily taken aback. For the first time, something deep within her ignited a fierce fire to reclaim her narrative, to stand against the shadows lingering just out of reach. "What is it you think you know?" she pressed, her resolve firming with each breath. "It's not about what I know, Lisa, it's about what you're willing to reveal. The art, the stories locked within, they hold memories you might not want to revisit. And they could connect more than you realize." Her breath caught again, memories enveloping her like an unwelcome embrace. Dark chapters she tucked away now felt exposed, ready to surface. But Marcus's presence held her steady as she fought back against the tide of doubt. "I know my truth. I'm standing here, painting my story, not hiding from it." And right there, something shifted. The murmurs of the crowd faded into the background, it was just them and the truth surfacing. "Everyone has a story, Lisa," the man continued, his tone smooth, almost taunting. "But what happens when yours collides with the ones who don't want it to be told?" Lisa clenched her fists. "You don't scare me. You're right, I have a past, but this is a new beginning. I'm here to inspire, to create, not to fear." The man's features hardened, but behind that stormy exterior was a flicker of admiration. "You think that's enough? You don't have any more power over me." "If anything, I have the strength of those I love and support me," she asserted, glancing back at Marcus, whose nod and warm smile bolstered her confidence. Just then, Sophie and Jake appeared from the side, their art-covered hands jumping excitedly as they rushed toward their mom. "Mom! Did you see all the people? They loved the painting." Lisa's heart swelled as she looked at their innocent faces, the joy in their eyes igniting a fire deep inside her. She turned back to the man with newfound determination. "This is bigger than just me. My family deserves to see me stand tall regardless of the darkness. We're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive." A murmur rippled through the crowd as they took in the scene. The man hesitated, the mask of intimidation slipping ever so slightly as he looked into her eyes. "Be careful, Lisa," he warned, but there was no malice now, just a warning she could finally dismiss. "I will be. And from now on, I will tell my story, my way. No one else can define it." With a heavy sigh, he nodded, stepping back. "You've gotten stronger. Just remember that truth has a way of unveiling," he said, as he blended back into the crowd, leaving a whisper of tension lingering in the air. "Wow, Mom! You're so brave." Sophie shone brightly, her adoration warming Lisa's heart. "Thank you, sweetheart. And thanks to everyone here. Tonight is a celebration, after all," Lisa said, raising her head high, the weight on her shoulders lifting. The applause echoed through the room once more, filling her with a radiant courage. Surrounded by friends, family, and even newfound allies from her past, she locked eyes with Tom, who stood proud in the crowd, loving support wrapping around her like a warm hug. The challenges ahead might still be murky, but now she felt anchored. This was not just her journey, it was theirs. Life was full of uncertainties, but as long as they stood united, together, they could face whatever came their way. With a final glance at her art, a smile broke through her fears. "Let us keep painting our truth, together," she said, determination illuminating her face. And with that, a wave of hope washed over everyone gathered. The night was no longer just a story of unveiling, it was a promise, a celebration of healing, of love, and of the brave journey to reclaim every part of their truth. As the laughter continued and her paintings glowed with newfound vibrance, a single thought resonated in her soul: this was just the beginning. And now, dear audience, this is your moment. Don't miss out on what comes next. You need to subscribe now to the channel so you don't lose your chance at more inspiring stories that will transform your life. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Every click counts and help spread the love. Comment below your thoughts and feelings about Lisa's incredible journey, and don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support matters. Be a true fan and stand with us as we embark on more adventures together.